What's happening, everybody? Steve here, Cars with Steve, and today I'm going to show you everything you need to know about the media screen inside of the 2022 Ford Maverick. Now this is going to go through everything, so how to set up Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, connecting phones, going through settings and things like that. So let's get to it. Next up, taking a peek at the media screen for the vehicle. So we actually do have two screen choices that are available. It's either just going to be this base screen, or we've got the option for Sync 3 with the enhanced voice recognition. It's available in some of the packages, but this is just going to be for the base screen by itself. So we've got our station that's currently playing, we can pair a device, and then we've got some other basics along the top. This is going to be our home button. We've got our time that's currently going, current temperature, whether or not we're connected through data, etc. And then whether or not we've got our 911 assist set up, which as of right now we don't. So we're going to go through each option here, starting off with our audio tab along the very bottom. First off would be our sources. So we've got our AM, FM, or Bluetooth. So if we were hooked up using our cell phone, we would have Bluetooth audio as one of the available options. If we had a USB stick with MP3s, that would also show up as an option there as well. Moving back, we can tune a few different ways. So we've got a tuning rocker there. We can also direct tune this way as well. So we can just type in a station if we wanted to. We just hit enter and we're turned on. So let's actually do a quick audio test here. Okay, so that's the base speaker system inside of the vehicle. We do have the option for an upgraded Bang & Olufsen sound system, which definitely sounds much cleaner. But looking along the very bottom, we've got a series of different presets. We can literally just press and hold any of the available spots in order to save that preset in. So preset is now saved, and it really is that simple. Next up, looking at our phone. So we've got a few different ways we can add in a phone. We can do it just on that screen. If we were on this screen, we could just pair device, or on the main screen. So we've got our settings there, and we can jump into our phone or Bluetooth there as well to add in a different device. So setting the device up is actually super simple. So first step, what we're going to do is literally just hit add phone.
Search for Ford Maverick on your device and select Ford Maverick once it is found.
Okay, and we're literally waiting for Maverick, and we're just going to press that.
Confirm that the pin displayed on Ford audio matches the pin displayed on your device.
Okay, so we want to make sure these add up, and they do, so pair and yes.
For your safety, please stay alert to changing road conditions while your vehicle is in motion.
Okay, so what we want to do is make sure that we allow contacts, and we want to turn on 911 assist as well. The big reason why is because if the vehicle senses a collision and you're hooked up over Bluetooth, it's automatically going to dial 911 for you. But as you can see, we've got, so contacts are now downloaded, but we've got my phone, we've got Siri, do not disturb mode, we've got my keypad, and a number of other things. So phone is now connected, and it literally is that simple. If we go into settings here, we jump into phone. We've got some more advanced ones, so we can look at Bluetooth devices, we can manage my contacts, look at text messaging, we've got our roaming warnings, and a number of other things. Now, one nice thing is that this vehicle also does have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay support, so we don't have factory navigation inside of this thing, but we can take our USB cable, put it into the available USB port in front of us there. Opposite end, we're just going to plug ourselves in, and Apple CarPlay. So we just want to hit continue there. We have to agree. Do we want to allow CarPlay while the phone itself is locked? Yes, so we want to allow. And as you can see there, fully connected, and it literally is that simple. We at least have some map support there. So we've got our Apple Maps, we've got Google Maps, we've got Waze. We can use them all through this middle screen. Now the screen itself is fairly responsive, so we can easily move out as necessary there. Moving back, as I mentioned, we do have a few other map applications that we can jump through. Now, when we're hooked up through CarPlay, we can press the voice command prompt on the steering wheel, and that's going to launch our Siri Assistant there as well. So we can have that launched if we want to. Jumping back, this brings us back to the main screen here. Now, we do have the flexibility to be able to customize the screen layout as well if we wanted to. So on our phone, if we jump into, so we're going to start off with CarPlay, look at Ford Maverick, and then we can customize it. And we can literally just do a drag and drop. So if you have some things that you wanted to listen to instead, you can easily set that up if you wanted to. We can easily delete some things. It'll store it at the very bottom if we wanted to do that. But if we've kind of played around with too much and we don't like the way it looks, we can just do a reset in order to bring it back to our factory default screen there instead. Moving back, as you can see, we're now fully connected again. So we do have the flexibility of just jumping back here, pressing Ford Audio, and that's going to jump us back into this main screen. But all of a sudden, we've got maps because we're connected through CarPlay now. So we've got a number of options, and one of the cool things is that we can still use the radio here. Well, I don't actually have a station on. There we go. So let's go AM, FM, etc. Actually, let's go this station. So we could technically run through our audio if we wanted to while we're still connected through Apple CarPlay. So you don't have to worry about strictly using your phone's audio if you didn't want to. And then jumping back to the main screen here, we can press Ford Audio to jump us back to this main screen. We can jump back into CarPlay. We can go to settings here, jump across, and we've got Apple CarPlay preferences. So we can turn CarPlay off. We can remove my phone as well if we wanted to. So if we remove, and as you can see there along the bottom, it's now completely disconnected, but I'm still charging up there as well, which is nice. All right, now, setting up an Android device is literally the exact same process. So, as you can see there, we are still connected to the Apple device, so we can reconnect through Bluetooth if we wanted to, or we can simply add a phone.
Ford Maverick on your device and select Ford Maverick once it is found.
I love that. Maverick. So good, so good. All right, and then what we're doing is we're just going to wait until, there we go, Ford Maverick shows up, and we're just going to hit Ford Maverick there.
Confirm that the pin displayed on Ford Audio matches the pin displayed. For your safety, please stay alert to changing road conditions while your vehicle is in motion.
Okay, so we are now fully connected there. So as you can see, we've got a few other options. We've got our phone assistant. We've got our keypad there as well. So very similar to what we saw on the iPhone side of things. Now, one other thing is different. We've got our change device here now because we've got multiple devices connected. So we can easily press that in order to be able to select which phone we want to connect to. We can jump in, we can disconnect, we can make it our favorite, or we can completely remove any of these phones if we wanted to. So I'm connected to the Galaxy, so let's hop into the iPhone for a second. So we can connect the phone, media, make it a favorite, or we can remove it if we wanted to. And 3, 2, 1, it is that simple in order to be able to set a phone up and delete it from the vehicle. But very similar to the iPhone side of things, we do also have Android Auto support. So we're going to take our USB cable, we're just going to plug it in, and opposite end of the cable, and we're just going to plug ourselves in there as well. And Android Auto, so quick. Just hit continue there. We have to agree. And Android, I would like to turn on Bluetooth to sync, so we're going to hit next. And a few seconds here, launching in 3, 2, 1, and we are fully connected. So as you can see there, fully connected here. We've got our map preferences along the bottom there. We've got our Google About. We can go between different traffic sources, guidance options, and things like that. And then very similar to what we saw on the iPhone side, if we press and hold OK in the middle there, so you can see we've got our Google Assistant showing up as well. Notification Center, get back into our Google Assistant, hop inside to the main Android Auto menu. So very similar, as you can see there, we do have some flexibility. We've got our Google Maps, we can customize things as well. Now we do have the flexibility of being able to customize on the Android Auto side of things. We're just going to search for Android Auto, and when we do, we've got our settings menu there, and we're just going to look at our customizable launcher, and we can customize. So we can do a drag and drop. Any changes that we make here, we do actually have to relaunch Android Auto for them to take into effect. So it's not the same as Apple where it's dynamically going to update. We do have to manually go in order to make those changes. But we still do have the option of customizing the launcher if we want to. We've got our Google Voice detection, which is great. So we can say, hey Google, and it launches into our Google Assistant there as well. We've got a few other things, so our Google Assistant there, we can disable weather if we wanted to, and we've got a few other options. Now, one thing to note, we are wired Android Auto and Apple CarPlay inside of this vehicle. We don't have the option for a wireless connection at all, unfortunately. And we jump back, we hit exit there in order to jump back out to this main sync screen. We can jump directly into the maps because we're connected through Android Auto. We can hop back into Android Auto, look at our base preferences there where we can remove the phone if we wanted to. So we are charging this phone while we're connected there as well. So device not responding, which makes sense because I disabled Android Auto on this thing, so it totally makes sense there. But as you can see, we are still connected to the Galaxy. And then like what we saw on the iPhone side, if we jump into our settings, into phone, we can manage devices, we can look at a few things as well. So it is that simple, setting a phone up to this vehicle. Next up, jumping into our apps. So certain mobile apps will work through this middle screen. Specifically in the iPhone side of things, ones that I can think of would be Pandora and LiveX Live. So we can be connected through Bluetooth, and those would show up as our available apps there as well. Jumping into our settings, we've got a series of other options. So starting off, we've got our sound settings, so we can change out our treble, mid-range, bass. We've got our balance fade there as well, so we can adjust where it's actually sitting. We can recenter it as well. We've got our speed compensated volume, so it's automatically going to adjust the volume based off of how fast we're going. Occupancy mode, same idea. We've got our clock, which we can jump in by pressing the clock along the top there instead. But as you saw there, we can change between hours, minutes, and we've got our military mode as well. Bluetooth, so we can turn Bluetooth on or off. We can change the vehicle name. So if you wanted to customize it so that it's your own name instead of Ford Maverick, you could do that. We could add in devices or view connected devices as well. So as you see there, we still are connected through that Galaxy. We'll go back in just 1 second to a phone as well because it gives us the same options. So we do have a few things there. We can look at our Bluetooth devices again, hop in, and we can disconnect or we can completely remove it. Removing, 3, 2, 1, it is now disconnected and both phones are fully removed from the vehicle. Moving back again, we do have radio, so we do have a few different preset pages that are available there. I always recommend just maxing it out and going into 6 available presets, and the big reason why is because we go back home and now we've got up to 30 individual presets there. So if you're a heavy audio listener, you can at least have a mix of AM, FM, etc. Moving back, we've got some, again, mobile apps, which some of them will work over USB, so we can enable certain ones to work over USB. The vehicle itself is equipped with a Ford Pass Connect modem, which means that we can use it in order to be able to use it as a wireless hotspot. So if we had a data-only plan through our cell phone provider, we could use it to connect up to 10 devices. We could literally just set that one up through Bell Mobility in Canada as well. We've got some general settings, so we can change between English, Spanish, French. We've got our different temperature units. Touchscreen beep, so it's actually turned off, but if it was on, so the beeping that we're getting there, if that drives you nuts, you could turn it off. We can reset a few different ways as well. So we can reset Ford Pass Connect only, or we can do a full master reset there as well. So if we're selling the vehicle, we can just do a master reset to bring everything back to its factory default settings. Next up, we've got our 911 assist, which I always recommend keeping that one turned on so that it dials 911 if it recognizes you're in an accident. We've got our Wi-Fi, so we can easily connect to a Wi-Fi network at home. And we've got our system updates, so auto updates. Definitely recommend turning automatic updates on with our Wi-Fi at home. And the big reason why is because if the vehicle senses that there's an available update, it's automatically going to download it for us. Android Auto preferences, so as you see there, it's still showing that the Galaxy is connected. So we're just going to remove that one, and Android Auto is now gone. So that's one of the nice things, because by removing these things, it does clean up the tray. And then when we go to plug in through USB again, they will show up again. We've got some other vehicle settings. We've got a door keypad code that is available optionally inside of this. Certain trim levels will have it, but it's a 5-digit number in order to get inside of the vehicle if we don't have our fob on us. And we can easily add in multiple codes if we wanted to do that as well. We've got our display there. So our display, as big and as nice as this thing is, if it's too much, we can turn the whole thing off. Button press to bring it to life. We can jump into a calming screen where it just shows the time and our current statuses. Button press to bring it back again. Jumping back into our display, we've got our background, brightness, and then we've got a few different modes. So as of right now, so this is in the auto mode, but we can switch so that it's permanently in the day or the nighttime mode, depending on whether or not you like the look of one or the other. Auto mode means it's going to flip between day or night, depending on how bright it is outside. And then we've got our ambient lighting. So we do have only one available choice for the ambient light color, but we do have the flexibility of being able to adjust how bright it is if we want to. Pressing back, and that's going to be the basics of the actual media screen here, hopping back to the home page. So that was a look at the media screen. Kind of neat, right? If you guys ran any problems though, you have any questions, drop down in the comment section below and let me know. More than willing to talk you through any problems that you might be having. But if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your social networks. And until I see you next time, take care.